small businesses in the United States, I don't have the figure in front of me, but the failure rate of a small business in the United States is like about 50% after 5 years. And many of these small businesses, the amount of work that the people have to put in, they put in 18-hour days, for example. Well, you can praise that for its entrepreneurial spirit, or you can say, gee, I wonder what kind of effect that has on their religious life, on their family life, on their ability to listen to music and read or play music. Well, the reason for that is because of competition. You really need to work hard to compete. Well, in the Middle Ages, there were institutions called the craft guilds, which most people are familiar with by name, but they don't know too much about. And the craft guilds' intention was to regulate the economy in the interests of the consumer, the worker, and the owner. And it was assumed that all the workers would eventually become owners if they wanted to. They started out as apprentices, they worked their way up as journeymen, and then if they accumulated a little capital, they could buy their own workshop. Mm-hmm. But the one major point about the guilds is that you didn't look upon, let's say in a particular town, you had 10 bakers. These bakers did not look upon the other bakers as competitors. They looked upon them as brothers, supplying a need for the town. The people in the town needed bread. Well, we can supply the bread. And it's actually a service. We're doing a service to the people of the town. And yeah, we expect to make our living by it, but we don't expect to become exorbitantly rich by it. And the other people who are supplying bread are not our competitors or our brothers. And the guilds would have, they would hire a priest as a chaplain. They would have mass on the feast day of their patron saint, and they would have masses set for their deceased members, and so on and so on. So it was a very, very different spirit that was animating the economy. And so one of the problems with the immigrants and their small businesses is that it really is hard work. And sometimes small businesses are just looking, we want to sell out to a large company. I remember reading a few years ago about I think it was called Wicked Weed. It was a brewery in, I think, North Carolina. And they produced a very good craft beer. And after a little while, Anheuser-Busch bought them out. And well, it was probably very, very hard for them because they were having to work long hours to produce their product. And it was a relief to be able to sell out. But they shouldn't have had to work those long hours. If they had a guild economy, they could have worked reasonable hours, and there would have been a reasonable number of brewers in town, not everyone competing with each other.